Why is that message doubled? Huh. Don't just sit there in the background. Say hello. Who's out there? There's a few people out there. Like the whole point of this is to have a late night chat. So let's chat. I'm planting up my little seeds. Hello, hello. Can someone type something so that I know that this is working properly? Oh, farming on the rocks. Why are you not sleeping? You know why? Because I'm a night owl. And for most of my 34-year nursing career, it's been at night. So this is my prime time. So I wanted to start some seeds. So I figured I would turn on my camera and start some seeds. Mind you, I've started a lot of seeds already. And some of them I even put outside to kind of harden off. But I want to start these indoors. And then I'll put them out in a couple weeks. Because the weather is supposedly nice all week. So the nighttime temperatures. Daytime temperatures have been okay. It's the nighttime temperatures that we have to worry about. So here I am. I'm going to start these zinnia seeds. Because if I just throw them in the garden and start them outside, I mean, they will grow. But then I'm going to have to tend to them every single day. I have to make sure that they're watered. And I might not have time to do that. Whereas if they're inside, I can kind of keep an eye on them on my little grow shelf here, which you can't see because that's behind me. And I can make sure they're watered till they grow on to a certain size. And then I will put them outside. I don't have the benefit of the beautiful weather like you do there, Marie. All right, Marie, take care. I'll be watching you on your rock there, your lovely plants. I suppose somebody's sleeping somewhere in the world, but a lot of people are awake, whether it's night or day. My goodness, this thing. Every time I think that this is filled up nice enough, I find a big empty spot. All right, Marie, take care. Marie from Farming on the Rocks. Now that is one unique garden, guys. She is in Jamaica and her farm is entirely on a rocky mountainside, I guess. And she does most of her planting in containers. And I mean big, giant trees, mango trees in giant half-barrel containers. And she does very well. So we'll keep pushing along here. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 336 cell count trays here. So that'll get me started nicely. Okay. Oh boy, this one could use a little bit more dirt. Where's everybody at? Come on in. Let's have a little late night reasoning. tick-tock, it dings. I know I'm not the only one awake. Okay. I think this one is good. 36 cells in this. Come out of the weeds, guys. Let me know you're there. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Mallory Alexandra, you love gardening. So do I. Where are you watching from, Mallory? Do you do late night gardening like me? All right, I think this is good. I have a little extra dirt here. The Avid Camper. I've been watching your buddy there, Avid Camper, dance up a storm. I love the music choices there. Wagwan, Avid Camper, what's up with you? Are you out in the wilderness? What are you doing? As usual, I'm up in the late night. You like my shirt? This is not my shirt. This is my pajamas, but I love the pattern. Isn't it nice? And it's silky. It feels so good on the skin. This is my pajamas. I guess it could be a shirt because I do like this print and I do like the colors. I wouldn't be able to talk to you if I was camping now, wouldn't I? You wouldn't have Wi-Fi. That's true. That is very true. But I thought you were going off the grid for a while, so that's why I kind of thought you might have been camping or something, but I don't know. The last time that I was camping, I was a brownie and I went camping as a kid and I loved it. And then I grew up and they told me black people don't camp. Oh, you were gone for 3 nights. I was going to say pajamas, but you didn't want to be wrong. Well, you would have been right. Where did Mallory go? Mallory said she was a gardener. I want to know if Mallory is a gardener. How's your garden going, Avid Camper? Black people don't camp. Yeah, that's what they used to tell me. When I used to talk about camping and whatever, they would say black people don't camp. At least Jamaicans don't camp. And that's because back on the island, well, so they would tell me, there's a lot of stuff that they would do outdoors, kind of like they were camping. Like some people would cook outdoors, like how you would cook around a campfire or whatever, or, you know. So they don't camp. Not in the sense of how you would go camping, sleep on the ground and all that. They ain't doing that too much. So, yeah. In my middle years, I never camped. I haven't camped since. I glamp. I can glamp now. But camp, I haven't been camping where I sleep in a sleeping bag under the stars, on the ground, portaging through the woods. I did all that as a kid, as a brownie. But as an adult, no ma'am, I'm not doing that. I want to have a luxury cabin in the woods with Wi-Fi. Oh my God, we're so spoiled, aren't we? I'm too fat to be on the ground. Well, you and me both. You have a cozy cot for camping? Well, you know something? I see a lot of little gadgets that people take camping now, and really, it's not roughing it in the woods anymore. Truth be told, every creature comfort is at the campgrounds. So, but you were gone for 3 days. Where did you go for 3 days? Tell me. You're not afraid to get dirty. There's Mallory. What types of seeds are you sowing? Well, funny you should ask there, Mallory. I have them right here. I'm doing some zinnias. So these are the ones that I have on hand. I planted these last year. They came out really good. And these, they also did really well. These are new ones for me. I just transplanted some zinnias yesterday. LP, wagwan LP. Hello, everyone listening and lurking. Oh, you went to the Chilliwack River. Oh, Chilliwack, BC. I've heard of Chilliwack, BC. And Chilliwack was also a rock group back in the 80s. LP, how does your garden grow, my friend? The last one would be your choice. Yeah, I kind of like those, right? But the thing is, zinnias are so easy to grow that you can kind of just throw them in your garden and they would probably do just as well. But I'm just starting a few so that I have the seedlings ready to pop in, and then maybe I'll direct sow a few in a couple weeks. But I want to have some that I know that, they're good to go. Because if you just throw the seeds into your garden, you're still going to have to water them, make sure that they're, that you're getting the seedlings to germinate. But if they're inside under my grow lights, at least I know for a fact that they're going to come up. Yeah, with Canberra. I don't think I've grown those. You have to try these then. They come in so many different colors, varieties. They have really tall ones. They have kind of dwarf mini ones. And they are the easiest thing to grow. They're annuals. So here, well, I'm sure in BC as well, they're not going to come back. But these are the easiest thing to grow, I'm telling you. And if you like cut flowers in the house, perfect. They last so long in a vase, whichever one you decide on. Yeah, I always have zinnias to make sure that I have flowers in the house. But zinnias are pretty easy to grow. You should try though. You should try them. So that's what I'm growing, Mallory. Tell me about your garden. I know that Avid Camper was starting something on the balcony. How is that going? See, that's what the seeds look like. I don't know if you can see that. And it says here, this easy to grow zinnia produces 13 centimeters, which is 5 inches, blooms in bold shades of pink, lavender, and royal blue. Ooh, I didn't see royal blue. It's a pollinator attractor and makes a stunning display in gardens. Oh, this is very nice. And if you keep deadheading them, snipping off the flowers, it'll just keep coming till the frost takes it. Wow. Okay, so it says here to plant at a depth of 6 millimeter and to space them 1 to 3 centimeters apart. But I'm going to cram as many as I can. I have 3 trays like this. This is a 36 count tray. So I have 3 of them that I have packed some seed starting medium in there. Do I like Creeping Jenny? I love Creeping Jenny. All of my planters have to have Creeping Jenny. I love when it fills in. It makes the planter look so full and professional. I love Creeping Jenny. I have some that a friend of mine usually gives me because it just grows like crazy in her garden. And I have some that is starting to grow in my garden. And believe it or not, I have some that's coming back in some of the pots that I had them in last year. So Creeping Jenny all around. And there's a few different shades. There's like a kind of like a vibrant green, and then there's kind of like a yellowy colored one. I like them both, and they really make your planters pop. I love that one, and it comes back every year. Yeah. Some people say that it's a weed when it's in your garden because it's really invasive and it can go crazy in the garden, along with her husband, Creeping Charlie. But in pots, oh, I love Creeping Jenny. Love it, love it, love it. I feel like my pot, oh, you know what? I need my little pokey thing. I find that I don't think that my pots are complete. I need this little thing. My pots are not complete without Creeping Jenny. Who do I have here? The Queen Lime Zinnia colors are pretty. Yes, I've never grown those. These are just the ones that I have on hand, Mallory. I fully intend to get some more because the variety of zinnias, it seems like it's endless. I've seen the Queen Lime. That one seems to be pretty popular. I think I might look for that. Avid Camper. I kind of this year want to say something different. Not touching any of my pots this year because so many things are coming back from seed that's dropped off in the soil. Well, you are a smart gardener because a lot of things that are coming back, that means that you planted the right thing. So you don't have to spend as much money on annuals. So that's a good thing. But if you have any kind of space in your pots that you want them to look fuller, pop some zinnia seeds in, but make sure you take note on the size of the zinnias, because some of them can grow quite tall, right? You don't want them to, to have these giant zinnias in the pot where everything else is kind of dwarfed. It's going to look ridiculous. You need to add more plants. I have so many pots. Well, if you want to go on the cheap and something that's surefire and quick, plop some zinnia seeds in there, my friend. You won't be sorry. I've had seeds I planted 2 years ago pop up out of nowhere. What plant? What plant popped up? What seeds were they? And Mallory, do you have a garden? And you never did tell me where you're watching from. I'm very curious. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Those petunias drop seeds. I've had petunias come back too because they drop the seed. Oh, you're lucky. I have some petunias that are growing behind me, well, behind you, that I started from seed. And it's the best I've ever done. Let me show you. Look at these babies. Oh, let me turn them around. Some of them didn't germinate, even though, look at those. Those are my petunias this year. Look at that. Don't they look healthy and nice? They're going to start to flower in here soon. I got to get them outside, but look how nice. This is called the Royalty Mix. And I just love the way that they've spread out. But I don't know why these ones didn't germinate. They look fantastic. I'm so proud of these. And I know exactly where I'm going to put them, in a hanging basket. And I'm going to plop some more seeds in there. But I even replanted seeds in these ones. It looks like it's a few of them, 2 of them have started. Mallory says, watching from Florida. Oh my goodness, you are so lucky to have, I guess that's zone 9. And yes, you've been gardening for 2 years. Those look great. Don't they look great, guys? Petunias. I am so proud of these. So zone 9. I guess you have a little bit of a challenge too, because you don't get that cold stratification out there. Although I hear gardeners who are based in Florida say that, oh my gosh, it's so cold, it's so cold. And I think some of the states, the southern states, got a really cold snap this year. I know some people, some garden friends in Texas had to cover up their plants and stuff, but you guys get to grow some nice tropical stuff, and a lot of your stuff comes back that's only we have to treat as annuals up here. But I start a lot of plants indoors. I have to, and that's because a our growing season is so short. So our last frost date is essentially next week, May the 24th, May the 20th. Now they're saying because of our change of zone. We used to be a zone 5, now we're a zone 6. But even though they're saying that that's our last frost date, I'm still a little leery of putting my tender annuals out. Like I have, look at this. I have these little coleus. I have a whole bunch of these that I've started. Let me show you because I'm so proud of my little plants. All right. I hope I'm not flashing y'all. Here's some of them. Ooh, look at those. These are my coleus, some of them. I haven't had frost here since February. Oh my gosh, you are lucky. We haven't had frost, but we've had a few nights dip down into like 6 degrees or something. But this week, it's supposed to be pretty good. So I have some of my plants out there. I locked them up in my little greenhouse at night, my annuals that I bought that are out there. But these are the coleus that I've started from seeds, and these are very tender. And they should be transplanted out of these little pots, but I don't want to have to up pot them. I just want to put them into a pot or into the garden. So I know I'm kind of slowing their growth by doing that, but oh, you suck at growing this one. This one is so easy. The seeds are like, oh my gosh, you can barely see the seeds. You just plop them in and they grow for me. And I have a few others that I've grown from cuttings, and I just keep cutting on them. See, like these. I had this in water. I finally put it in this little pot, but every time it grows up, I cut. And see, it keeps giving me offshoots. So that's how you can multiply your plants. Like if you're stuck at growing the seed, just buy a little plant or get a cutting from someone. And as it starts to grow, keep cutting. I'll show you what I mean. Like, look at this one. Oh, see, this one, I cut it here at the tip. And you notice it's sending out leaves on both sides. So I beheaded it and I put that part at the top part, it was about this high, in water to grow some roots. And now it's sending out side shoots, and that'll give me another plant. And as this starts to grow the side shoots, I'll cut it again. So that's how you multiply your plants, my friend. The ones I bought in the past end up dying on me. Well, these ones are shade lovers, so you got to keep these ones in the shade. They do have some hybrids now. I know Proven Winners has some that are good for sun and shade, but I find they mostly are shade lovers. But that was years ago. Now at NY old place, I'm full sun. You're full sun. Okay, well, you have a lot of options, my friend, for full sun. So many options, whether they're perennials or annuals. Full sun, come on, you can grow sunflowers, you can grow, I don't know, echinacea, whole bunch of stuff. What plant are you most excited to grow this season? That is such a good question, Mallory. Well, I don't have any in the room because I plopped them in my greenhouse, but I had a few of my cannas that I actually managed to save this year. So I overwintered them and I have them, let me see. They're all outside except, I'll show you this little one here. Hang on. Oh, I'm dropping seeds. See? I don't know if you can see this. This tiny little thing is a little nub that started to grow from the cannas that I overwintered, that I was successful this year. And I should show you guys this. This, oh, See that? The leaf looks like an elephant ear, and the reason why it looks like an elephant ear is because it's from the same family, the alocasia family. But this plant, ooh, there's aphids on this. This plant is called a taro root, and it looks like a little potato. And you find it in the grocery store. It probably costs you like 5 cents or something like that. And I put it in a little container, like a food container, a takeout container, with a tiny bit of water, and I put it on my heat mat, the little bulb, or the taro, the it looks like a potato. And then it starts to get swollen. The little eyes start to swell, and before you know it, you have a taro plant. And these will grow huge. And I grow them for the beautiful leaves. And this is a poor man's elephant ear. One elephant ear bulb cost me $12. This cost me 5 cents. And they will grow almost just as big. Not as big as the huge, big alocasias, but this one, it does good. So I am excited to grow this. And last year I had a really nice banana plant, a dwarf banana. And I think I'll get another one this year because I like having the tropical vibe in my garden. And those dwarf bananas give you that tropical vibe. So what I'm doing right now is squishing the aphids that are on my leaves. They just look like little tiny nubs. Ew. They just look like little specks of dust, but they're aphids. And if you leave them there, they'll just multiply and suck the life out of all my plants on the shelf. I think I got them all. I have a lot of plants that I've started inside, guys. And it's kind of time to get them out. I'm working on it though, little by little. I'm nervous to put certain plants outside because I don't want them to be affected by the cold nights and get frostbite after all this work to get them to this point.
My phone charger.
Here you go. So Mallory, what do you grow? What do you grow in your garden? Do you have a big garden, vegetables, flowers? I'm sure you've planted zinnias at some point. Because if you know about the lime colored one, then you must have planted zinnias before. I think I've got all the aphids off of here. Oh, I see another one. How dare these little aphids attack my poor little taro plant? Look at them under here. Just sucking the life out of my poor little plant. I'd had a few aphids on some peppers, and I definitely got rid of them there. So they must have spread to this plant, but I tell you, I'm a tough plant mama, I tell you, because I check my plants. I don't want no aphid infestation on my plants. Ooh, sorry. I'm shaking. All right. Where did my little pokey thing go? Oh, there it is. Oh, this belongs in the plant, this sticky thing. What do you plant in your garden, Mallory? Now I have a few people here that are just sitting in the weeds. So who's watching? Say hello. Now I do have some water here. I'm gonna wet my seed starting medium. Not too much, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I think this is good. That's good enough. And I think I'll put 2 seeds in each spot. LP. Oh, you're driving. Where are you watching from, LP? You transplanted some tomatoes out today. Okay, so you must be in a southern state. If you're putting your tomatoes out, you're not afraid of frost. Started a new in-ground flower bed. Isn't that exciting? I bought a little banana plant this year. We'll have to bring it in for the winter. I had a banana plant last year. I had 2 of them, the little dwarf bananas. They didn't they're not bearing bananas, but it was so nice. They put up so many suckers, and it was so nice to have that tropical vibe with the leaves. Oh, you're going to enjoy them. I don't know where they're getting all these little dwarf banana plants from up here. There's somebody in my neighborhood. Oh, you're in Michigan. I should have known that. And he has palm trees. And in the Canadian winter, he kind of makes like a protective box for them. It almost looks like a phone booth, like the old phone booths. And he puts like some sort of lights inside this booth to act as a bit of a heater. And these palm trees survive the winter. And they look really nice. If you look at his yard, it looks like it's in the tropics. You got some 40-degree nights yet, but I'm taking a risk. No more frost. Well, that's the thing here too. This week looks good in the forecast, but there's always frost. We always get zapped with frost after the frost days when they tell us that it's okay to plant. So I'm being a little cautious. I have a bunch of tomatoes here behind you that look great, and I've been, coddling those for months. I started them from seed, and I would be heartbroken if I put them out there and they got nipped by frost. So I do have some tomatoes out there though, in the greenhouse. And I must say, at night when it's kind of buttoned up in there, it is pretty warm. So I'm not too worried about those that are out there. But I just want to get planting out there already. Enough already. If it's not cold, it seems to be raining, or, I seem to be busy and can't be out there. But I just want to get planting. Although some people still haven't even, well, they say you're not even supposed to disturb your garden yet because of all the beneficial insects that are nesting. I've started. I must admit, I have started. I've cleaned up some, but I haven't gotten to all of it. They say the bees and all that are still nesting in some of the plant material from last year. A&I Family Adventure. Hi back at you. She says, hello, hi everybody. Hi guys. There's just a few of us here. We're just chatting as I'm planting up some seeds. I want these things, these zinnias. I'll show you what they look like. They don't take long to germinate at all. They seem to come up overnight. This is what I'm planting, these flowers here. And these are flowers that won't come back after the winter. They're just here for the summer season. So in one season, they go from seed to looking like that. And they're beautiful flowers. You can pick them and put them in a vase. They're called zinnias. And they have tons of different varieties of them. So whatever type of plant, flower that you like, guaranteed there's a zinnia for you. So I have a few of them. I have these that I'm gonna plant. And I got these. I grew these last year and they were really nice. So I'm just starting these so that I can have some flowers. I swear, in about 3 weeks, these things, you'd be shocked to see how much these have grown. They don't take very long to germinate at all. Ooh. So A and I, what are you up to? How was the weather in beautiful Jamaica today? And I know it's mango season, so did you have any nice mangoes today? I'd be eating mangoes by the bushel if I was in Jamaica during mango season. Just give me a bucket and a bunch of Julie mangoes, and that's it for me. Julie mangoes are my favorite. So nobody else is planting? Am I the only late night gardener on the internet? Could never be. Where's all my late night gardening peeps? I know you're out there. I find this very satisfying, planting seeds. Especially knowing how fast these things grow up. Oh, something to be said for sowing seeds, tending crops, and then you get to reap. Ah, there we go. I tell you, this soil has so much little wood chips and bark in it. And I tell you, this is Miracle-Gro soil too, but I find that there's so much filler in it. My goodness. And actually, this isn't really soil because there's no real nutrients or compost or anything. This is the seed starting mix. But still, so much extra filler in there. Wood chips and bark and all kinds. You have to wonder where they get all this soil from. I was reading something online and someone said that when they open their bag of soil to plant indoors, there was a frog in the bag. Oh my God. If that ever happened to me, guys, oh yeah, that would be it for me in the gardening season. That frog would have to take the whole garden with him, because what's a frog doing in a bag of soil, and how the heck did he survive in that bag of soil? How long has he been sealed up in there? And if you can have a frog in there, my goodness, what else can you have in there? What if there was a snake in there? Ugh. Luckily, we don't really have snakes like some of the southern states do. Like I'm sure Mallory has snakes in her garden down there in Florida, and lizards. Ooh. All those little lizards that are out there in Florida. I don't know if I could garden if I know that under a bush, or you're digging or whatever, you move a plant or a pot and out pops a snake. I was watching a garden friend, and she gardens in North or South Carolina or something like that. And right there in the middle of her video, as she was planting something, there's a huge, huge snake. And she just waited till it passed and then continued about her business. Oh gosh, I could never. That snake was huge. But I guess if you live in those states, that's something that you're used to, right? We do have rabbits though, and skunks and possums. Do any of you grow strawberries? I need some solutions for growing strawberries. I've been kind of doing my research and I have a few plants, but my thing is I need a solution to keep the critters and the birds out of the strawberries, because I'd actually like to eat some of the strawberries before they get to them. And I think I'm going to put them in some sort of a raised bed situation, because putting them on the ground, I think, is just going to open them up to slugs and snails and all that kind of stuff to just eat away at my strawberries before I even get to them. And ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, I'm just clipping away here, guys. Anybody else like the smell of dirt when it's wet? Just kind of damp. I like the smell of dirt. Oh. LP says, I have to go, but happy gardening. May all your little babies grow well. Thank you, LP. And I have to go and update myself and see. I hope you made a video about your tomatoes. Take care. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time. That was LP. Avid Gardener, if you're still here, you should connect to LP. She has some good looking plants in Michigan there. Okay, I got 3 rows done, guys. 3 whole rows. Like I said, I have I have 3 36 count trays, and I'm planting 2 seeds in each cell. So, do the math, because I'm not good at math, but that's a lot of flowers. They give me a good amount of seeds. Oh. What time is it? The lights behind are so bright, my glow lights, that it's blinding. Oh. Now this says I have a couple people here. So somebody talk to me. The last time I planted these, they all did so well. I start some inside and then I kind of direct sow the seeds into the garden. Either way, they do fairly well. But zinnias don't really like to be disturbed. So I don't like to leave them in the cell trays for too long, because they don't like their roots disturbed once they've germinated and they start to grow on. So you generally like to plant them directly and then they just grow in place. But the ones that I did last year that I started indoors, they did okay. And I got some, some earlier blooms because our season is so short. If you wait until June to plant, your season seems so short. So if you start as much as you can for what your indoor space allows ahead of time, you're ahead of the game. Because if you were to buy all of these things, my goodness, plants are not cheap. And they've raised the prices. Even though I saw on the news that they're saying that these plants should not be affected by this whole craziness that's happening now, but I don't know. They've raised the price, so someone needs to tell them that we don't want to pay more. So we're going to start to sow our own seeds. But there's certain plants that you can't, right? Because a lot of the seeds are hybrid and they don't produce seeds. Can you believe that? They don't produce seeds. So you cannot reproduce the plant that way. You have to maybe do a cutting. And believe it or not, there's certain plants that have basically a copyright on them, and you can't grow them for you can't reproduce them for a few years. Some of the newer varieties of certain things. And then other ones, when they finally release seed, the seeds are so bloody expensive. Like, I don't know, certain geraniums, you're paying $8 to $10 for maybe sometimes 6 or 8 seeds. That's what I found anyways. And then it's not even a guarantee that they're going to germinate. And even if they do germinate, you're not guaranteed that those bloody plants are going to live. Because I'm pretty successful with germinating plants, but I did lose some of my tomatoes. I don't know, they just kind of dry up after a while. But this year I was pretty successful with most of my plants. Mind you, my first round of okra, I just started the okra seeds inside. I wanted to see what would happen. And my first round, they started out really good, and then all of a sudden they just all kind of shriveled up. Planted a second round, and those are outside, so those are doing good. So this packet is all planted up. My Zinnia Art Deco. Don't those look nice, guys? I like these. And they grow 5 inches or 13 centimeters. Yeah. And that color scheme will go with a lot of plants in my garden. Very good. All right, so I have one more row here. My goodness. So many additives in this thing. Let's try, what is this one called? Pamula? Pamula? Okay. This one, let's see. This one grows 30 inches. So this one is it's a stretcher. 75 centimeters. And it says it takes 50 to 70 days till they start to bloom. So if we were to plant these mid-June and then have to wait 50 to 70 days, like we wouldn't get very long with these plants, right? So the sooner you get them going, the better. That's my philosophy. But these ones are much, they grow much taller than the first ones that I've sowed. But I do like the little orange pom-pom color. So definitely these are for the back of the border, right? These seeds are much bigger than the last ones. I just have some quiet watchers. Nobody wants to talk to me. Y'all are just sitting there watching. See, here we go. So I have this whole tray planted up with zinnias. And in no time, I'm going to get a whole, well, let's hope the whole tray germinates, right? Because you know what it's like when you're waiting and waiting. All right, so let me get a plant marker. Oh, I'm running out of space in here. This is where my granddaughters have all their toys and where they play, so all right. Ooh, I've kind of put this one in a bit deep. I'll just stick this whole thing so I know what's here. All right. I'll give it a little water. Make sure this thing is wet. Doesn't have to be too much, but the seeds need to be damp. Here we go. So now I'll stick this under my grow lights, keep an eye on it, and before you know it, you got some zinnias. Now I think I'll do one more. And then, because I do have some space under these lights, because I have brought a lot of the plants that were growing outside to harden off. So this is 36 little spaces. Oh, my leg hurts, I tell you. It's aching me. All right. This is just watering it down. Now, for anybody out there who gardens, this is go time. If you've started seeds inside, this is this week, next week, maybe even last weekend, you planted your annuals out. Some people have had their cold hardy plants out for like 2 weeks now. I'm more cautious because I don't want my stuff to get nipped by frost. But I mean, I've seen people even in my neighborhood. My neighbor has his annuals out, and the temperature does dip at night, and his plants look just fine. He has tender annuals out there, and they look just fine. And every night I tuck mine in to bed into a greenhouse because I'm worried that they'll get hit with the frost. All right. All these bloody little wood chips in this. I don't know if I'm going to buy this medium again to start seeds in because there is an awful lot of little wood chips and the likes that I have to keep. Or maybe next time I need to strain it because I know a lot of people strain their soil and their mix. And this soil or seed starting medium, whatever you want to call it, they're not expensive and you need a lot. So if any of you are out there, just know you do not have to change the soil that you use every year. Oh God, no, don't do that. Soil is much too expensive to do that. Just kind of boost it up with all the nice additives, the plant food and the different amendments, and you're good to go. Turn the soil, take out all the old roots that might be kind of tying up the soil, and you're good to go. There is no reason why, like I have tons of pots out there. I'll take out all the old roots. I'll just add some fresh compost, maybe some bone meal, blood meal, little fertilizer. Mix it. I have a wheelbarrow out there that I kind of mix it all up and then reapply them in the pot. I'm not buying all new soil for all those pots. That's a lot. And all the additives are a lot. Mind you, I've been doing an experiment with banana peels. Who do we have? Casper Tuyal. Is that what it says? Sorry, I'm blind. Yeah, Casper Tuyal. Hi, Casper. Wagwan. I'm here planting some seeds, my friend. But I was just saying that I'm experimenting with some banana peels. I have them in a container. That's supposed to be, well, my friend Marie from Farming on the Rocks calls it banana tea. And it's good for your strawberries, natural fertilizer. Are you a gardener, Casper, to you all? Where are you watching me from? Are you a gardener or are you just a late night cruise in the web? Are you a night owl? Ooh. My goodness, this is... Okay. 2 rows down, 4 more to go. I'm a talker, so I need people who are talking to come up in the chat and say hello, wagwan. And I hope you're all giving me a thumbs up because YouTube needs to know that you were here. And when you give them a thumbs up, that's YouTube's way of saying, okay, present. They take attendance that way, you know. YouTube is quirky like that. They won't push your video out unless they know people want to see it. So thumbs up and hitting that little heart in the bottom right tells them that you're over here having a good time. I hope you're over here having a good time. Doesn't have to be the best time, but an okay time. Oh, my hip. Well, at least you came. Maybe you're not a talker, but thank you very much for coming. I do appreciate that you said hello, because some people don't like to talk. But I guess if you're a YouTuber, you have to be a talker. Because it feels like you're talking to yourself, but not really. When people answer you back, it just feels like you're on the phone talking to a friend. Let's see. How many more do I have here? I think I could do a few more here with the seeds I have. Oh, yeah. Just enough. Look at that. Just enough seeds. All right. These don't have to go that deep. The package says 6 millimeters, which, you know, just a tiny little bit of the dirt to cover it up. Doesn't have to be all the way too far down. And this is what I just planted, these zinnias. So I still have this space and that space. All right. Now I'm going to get these things under the light. I'm making a mess. A big old mess. Oh, that's why. Because I have this in 2 different drainage containers. I only need the one. Okay. So I planted these earlier. And this one I'll plant tomorrow. Because I need some more seeds. I thought I had another full pack, but I guess I don't. See? So all of these will be zinnias. They don't take very long to germinate at all. And if you like cut flowers, this is the flower to grow, because they have so many different varieties, and you can keep cutting on them, and they'll keep coming. They'll keep coming. The more you cut, the more they'll keep coming. So I'm just going to give it one little wet down. And if you're interested in knowing how to plant zinnia seeds, they're very easy, I do have a video on my channel all about planting zinnias. And if you haven't already subscribed, I think most of you have, except for maybe Casper. I don't think I've ever seen you here before, Casper, but if you haven't subscribed, and if you like cooking, gardening, and all that jazz. And you can check our channel out. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let me just double check my seeds to make sure I don't have more zinnias in here, because I thought I did. Had quite a few packets, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Most of these I've already planted. This I'm going to plant again. This I'm going to plant again. Oh my God. Pepper, pepper. What is this? Oh. And this. Sunflowers. This. Oh, I need to buy some more of these. Oh. No, I don't have any more. I thought I did. I think I have another stash of seeds somewhere, because I'm almost positive. But that's okay. I think I will put these under the lights. It's 11:30. There's a few people here, but everybody's so quiet. Somebody say something to me so that I know that this live is still working. Somebody type something so that I know that the live is still going on. Okay. Oh, I have these seeds. Oh, there's the other part. I knew I had more seeds. So I can plant these and then be done with the whole tray. Yay. Can somebody type a hello? How are you? Now this says 60 days till flowers, and this is 30 centimeters in height. Yellow, reds, and kind of like a pinkish color. I've grown these before. They're not too bad. And these, like I said, these ones are really good for putting in a vase, and they last a long time in a vase. Where's my little pokey thing gone? I'm losing everything. I don't know where I put it. That's okay. I like working with these seeds because they're not tiny like coleus seeds. Coleus seeds, if you blink, they're all over the place because they're like fine dust. And this year, actually, I'm going to collect the seeds from these plants in the fall, because it's very easy to collect your zinnia seeds rather than buying the seeds. Very easy to collect, which is what I'm going to do. All right. I just have 2 more rows here that I'm going to plant, and then I think I'll call it a night. I think it was pretty successful. I got my zinnias planted. And maybe in another week or 2, I will direct sow some of these. I'll buy some more seeds and I'll direct sow them outside. Because once the ground is warmed up, and I mean, that's what all this last frost date is all about. Once the plants detect that the ground is nice and warm, oh my gosh, these little plants go into overdrive. They germinate very quickly and they grow very quickly in my experience. But the ground has to be warm. Once that happens, it's game on. Okay. Oop. I know exactly where I'm going to put these two. And because these ones are a little bit taller, definitely back of the border. Oop. Okay. One more row to go, in case you were wondering. All right. All right, here we go. And we're done. I am so good at estimating these seeds. They don't have to be buried too deep. 6 millimeters according to the seed packet. Now, if you're new to planting seeds, everything you need to know about the seeds will be on the package. So you don't have to worry about that. And I mean, you don't have to be exact. You just know that certain seeds need light to germinate. So you just kind of sow them on top of the soil. Others, they need to be covered. Not too deep. There we go. Now we give them one last drink of water. And then we leave them alone. So you just make sure that they stay moist. And in a couple weeks, they will germinate and you will see the little plants come up with the first leaves come up. And before you know it, you're planting in the garden. All right. I have, oh my goodness, there's 8 people here. Well, 8 people, 8 silent people. I'm going to put these, oh my goodness. Don't you hate these things? They're a necessary evil because look at here. Clearly, it's doing its job. You see that? It's catching all the little gnats that come out of the soil. So clearly, they're needed because it's doing its job. But gosh, they slide and then they're so sticky. They fall out of the pots and then they stick to your leaves of your plants. Oh, and it's so difficult to get them off without tearing the leaf. Jeez. This is another coleus plant. I was showing it earlier. And when you have a coleus plant like this, you can propagate them so easily. This one was about this tall, and I had cut it here. And if you can see, now it's sending out new shoots here. So I will just use this plant to keep cutting, and making new plants as it grows. See, this one was just transplanted. this little one. I set them in water and they grow roots. Actually, I could probably get rid of some of the leaves because it's having a hard time with so many big leaves. Let me take some of these big leaves off. But already I can see that it's sending out some new leaves. But I always take cuttings from my coleus. They're the easiest plants to root in water. Okay. Give it a little drink. And those will come along nicely. And look at this one. Isn't this gorgeous? I've been making cuttings of this too. This is Tradescanthia, but I like the vibrant purple on it. So I've cut on this plant so many times and I've created so many other plants. So I bought one plant and I think I have about 5 now so that I can use this in my pots. So you have to be smart with these plants, guys, because these plants are not cheap. This little plant cost me $7. And now I have about 5 of them about this size. I just kept, as it started growing and growing, I just cut it, put it, the cutting in water. It grew roots. When there was enough roots on it, I planted it up in some soil. And look, it's thriving. That's what you got to do. You got to be smart with these plants because plants are just too expensive. Or you start from seed, right? See, this one, I just potted up yesterday. These are all the little cuttings that I made, and they grew roots. So they're going to look a little bit worse for wear for a couple days. You just keep the soil really moist. And then before you know it, they'll pop right back up and they'll thrive. And then you cut on it again. You just keep cutting and cutting until you have enough plants for what you want to plant outside. This is another cutting. Oh, yeah. I'll let that stay. All right, well, I am going to put my plants under the light, and I think I'm going to call it a night. Who do I have? Cross Fam 5. Cross Fam 5. Now you have on a jacket, so I must have spoken to you before. I'm here doing some late night planting, Cross Fam. I planted up some zinnia seeds. And now I'm going to put them under my grow lights. I have a lot of plants. You can't see them all, but they're all behind you. This is a dahlia, or dahlia, depending on how you pronounce it. And this, you buy these bare roots. They look like little potatoes. And you plant them up and you grow them on. Yes. You see, I live in Toronto, Canada, and our growing season is very short. So we have to start our plants indoors. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to have a longer time with your plants in the garden, you start the plants indoors, and then around this time, May the 24th, is when they say is our last frost date, and then you put them outside. You put them outside without the risk of them being nipped by frost, right? So this is my latest round of flowers. So these, I grow these every year. These are pretty easy to grow. All right, let me get them in under the light. There. I'm gonna take you guys off the shelf and I'm gonna show you now. See? Those are the tomatoes I have left inside. You see how big those are? There's some coleus there. Pretty color. These ones are a little wilty because I just transplanted them yesterday. And this is some more little seedlings that I have. A lot of the stuff that was here, I brought them outside already. This is my taro roots, and I grow these for the leaves. I'll probably put these out tomorrow. What do I have in those? In the ones I just planted some zinnias. These are the coleus that I keep cutting on these and making other plants. And up here are dahlia plants. Those are going to give me some nice flowers. Look how thick they're getting. These have to go outside when the risk of frost is over. So a lot of these plants, oh, you live in Toronto. You only plant vegetables like tomato. I have some tomatoes. These tomatoes are the ones I still have inside. I brought some tomatoes out and I put them in the greenhouse, and all my peppers are outside, but none of them are planted in the ground. Did you plant any of yours in the ground? I didn't plant anything in the ground because I'm just afraid of the frost. Although this week, oh, you planted in the ground. Okay. This week, the weather's pretty good. And I mean, the daytime temperatures over here, as you know, have been pretty good. It's the nighttime temperatures that we have to worry about. Like last week, we got as low as 6 degrees, which is it's too cold. But I mean, if there is a risk of frost, you can always cover them, you know, with like an old blanket or, you know, an upside down bucket or something. You did corn. Okay. I've never grown corn. So what do you do? Do you have like pests that come, like raccoons or skunks or anything like that? Do you have any of that problem in your garden? Because I have an awful lot of raccoons that come around. They don't really bother my tomatoes, and I've never really seen any of them bother the peppers. But I have some really nice strawberry plants that I have out in my greenhouse, and I want to plant them, but I need a solution. A lot of animals come along, rabbits, raccoons, skunk, and groundhog. Yep, we have the same thing. But I must say, everything I have are in raised beds. So I've never seen them really bother the raised beds, but they're out there, and I don't want to plant the strawberries and then that's going to attract birds and the raccoons and stuff. I don't know. I have to figure out something, maybe a cage. Like I want to put it in a raised bed and then put a cage over it, maybe. I don't know. But do you start your stuff from seed? I just planted all my zinnias. Where are the packages? Those were zinnias that I planted. Oh, you planted your vegetables from seed. This year I said I was going to plant a bit more. Like I have some beans here that I want to plant. I was gonna do cucumbers, but I think I have to find a solution because it's a vining plant, right? It needs a trellis or something. I did some pine trees. Also remember I asked you about the pine trees. And you know the funny thing is, I have a little picture that I took because I just started kind of cleaning out my garden. And there's a tiny little pine tree that has rooted in the garden. It is so cute. I think I'm going to dig it up and put it in a pot. It's a tiny little pine tree that has started growing in the garden. I don't know, maybe it fell. We have huge, my neighbor has huge pine trees in the back of his yard. So maybe one of those cones or something. It rooted. I don't know. But I'm gonna dig that little thing up and put it in a pot. You bought the pine trees at Home Depot and Walmart. The ones at Walmart grew pretty good. Well, you know something, keep your receipts because if they don't do well and they end up perishing after a time, even if it's next summer or next spring, when you realize that they didn't make it through the winter, you can bring that plant back to Home Depot with your receipt and they will either replace it or give you your money back. Because I've done that several times. That's their policy. So make sure you keep your receipts when you buy these plants. Oh, that's really good. Well, like I said, I started peppers, tomatoes, okra. I have my beans yet to start. And I want to do some cucumber. I have my onions that are out there. Yep, plants are too expensive. Some of these smaller nurseries, you can get cheaper plants. But if you're going to buy a substantial shrub, you know, some of these hydrangeas for a little tiny shrub, it's like $40. If you're going to buy those type of foundation plants, get them from a decent nursery that have that policy that, you know, if they don't make it through the winter, then they'll take it back because at least they stand by their root system on these bloody plants. Right? A lot of these nurseries that just kind of pop up for a few weeks in the spring, their plants are decent, but there's no guarantee with the foundation plants, right? So I like to get those type of plants from either Sheridan or what's that place that I like out in Ajax? Oh, the name escapes me now, but get it from or Home Depot has decent plants. I used to like the plants from Lowe's, but Lowe's is no more. We don't have Lowe's anymore, so. And this year, I got a few annuals from Walmart, believe it or not. I went early when they just started putting out the plants for the growing season, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was before they all got picked over, right? Yes, I find my local Home Depot is pretty good. And those type of plants that you're buying, those trees, it's not an annual, it's not like a plant that you people will generally buy in big quantities, you know, so you should have a good choice. Oh wow. And I know they have those arbovitas, I think they're called. um they can grow up to about 5-6 feet, but those ones sometimes they're the common ones, and sometimes they don't make it through the winter, especially if you have it against your property that's close to the road or the sidewalk where it gets a lot of salt. Those plants were bought 3 years ago and they're all doing good. Okay, you're lucky. My neighbor across the street replaced all of his. They all died. They were all doing so well, and then they just all shriveled up and turned brown, and he replaced them all, and the second batch that he put out there are doing pretty good. Well, now you can put some Christmas lights on them or something. Very good. You managed to keep them going throughout 2 winters or 3 winters. That's something to be said because those trees aren't so easy sometimes, right? Make sure you feed it. Very good. So do you I don't think we're connected. I don't think, are we connected? Because I don't remember watching um a garden show from you. I'm gonna have to check. Are you a content creator? Do you do videos about your garden? Yes, and that's why I asked about covering, because I see some of the city workers cover their pine trees. Yes, some of it depends. Like, I don't have pine trees that I cover, but I think the ones that they cover are close to the road, or close to, like where the salt truck will come and splash or whatever. So they do cover them. I had some bushes in the front. I took those out. So now I'm trying to figure out in the front of my house what type of garden. I've been putting annuals in for the last couple of seasons because I don't really know what I want to do. I tried putting some hydrangeas there, and once again, not all of them made it through the winter. No videos about plants. Oh, you should put videos about plants. You seem to be very passionate about your plants. But I'm going to check out your channel and see what you do have. And clearly you're a night owl like me. So, but I think I'm going to wrap it up, friends. My plants, I'm going to turn off their lights. I'm going to give them a little water. Let me flip and show you again. These are just the ones that I have inside, like I said. They look kind of worse for wear. But if you look on my channel, I have a video, a live that I did where I showed you what's outside. But you are more passionate about plants than I do. I love to travel and eat food. So do I. Oh, so you do cooking on your channel. We do cooking. My husband cooks. Oh, wait a minute now. Cross Fam 5. Are you the family and you have a little boy? And I think I saw your video where you went to an Airbnb in Jamaica, in Richmond. Is that who this family is? I walk the street up Toronto and eat food. That's what I do. Cross Fam 5. Yes. Okay. Yes, we are connected then. I did see the video where you guys were in Richmond. I know where Richmond Estates is, but it looked so nice. It looked a little different than the last time I saw it, but it looked really nice. Yes. Okay. Yes, I know your channel. And you should put some planting videos on there if you have a garden and you're passionate. But yeah, we have a few travel videos there, but um who's this? Travel with Aubrey. Hello, Travel with Aubrey. How are you? Now all the night owls, all the night owls are coming. Thank you for the like. Thank you very much. Where are you watching from, Travel? I'm here talking with my peeps. CrossFam 5 is from Toronto. Kuwait. Kuwait City. Wow. What time is it in Kuwait City? Kuwait City. Wow. Yes, I just finished. It's 6:57 a.m. Wow. Interesting. Well, it is midnight, just about midnight here in Toronto. Yeah, and I was gonna call it a night here. I've been on here for about an hour or so, working with my plants, potting up some flowers. Yeah, we're in Toronto, both of us. CrossFam 5 and myself. We're both here in Toronto. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank you guys for coming. and chatting with me and watching me plant my plants. And I will catch you guys on these YouTube streets. So be blessed, stay safe, and we'll catch up again next time, guys. Have a nice night and have a great day, travel vlogs. Bye. Take care.